One, two, ready, and play. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Talking with PB. As you can see, I am still using Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Is that what it was called? Maybe. Probably. As my background video. I haven't had the time to hear you guys' feedback. At the moment, I'm attempting to, stockpile. When do you guys remember Y2K? Are you guys old enough to have remembered Y2K? I guess that's something people would ask me if I'm old enough. I think I was 7. Was I 7 when Y2K happened? Yeah, I had to have been. Yeah, 7. And everyone was just like stockpiling all these things because they thought, the world was gonna end, the technological world was gonna end. Well, imagine if that's what I'm doing, except instead of the world ending, I'm not gonna have decent internet enough to upload things. So right now I'm stockpiling videos and I'm trying to get oh, excuse me, I just had a cupcake. I because I'm gonna be without internet probably. I think it's the last 2 weeks of December and probably the first 2 weeks of January. So there's gonna be a full month where I'm only gonna be able to upload videos if I go to Starbucks, and I might do that for a couple of videos, but the majority of them are gonna come out before time. So right now I'm trying to get ahead of my videos just in general. I'm probably not going to be able to upload MHC January unless that's announced early enough for me to um, record that all in one sitting. That's what I'm gonna try to do with December, and it works with December because it's a journey. That's all December is, and let's talk about that for a second. So, December, if you haven't heard what that MHC is gonna be, MHC December is going to be you basically running in one direction and seeing who gets the farthest. At the end of the 9 days, I think it's going to be in December. Maybe 8? No, it has to be 9 because it starts on the Monday. The first starts on the Monday. And so that's going to be really fun. And if you guys don't know, one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft is explore a world. I love just having a very minimal amount of items on me and just exploring the world. And pretty much I'm literally living off the land. And I just look around. I do that and I've become very good at it because that's, before a mist and all that stuff, that's how you would, figure out if you had a good seed or not, or if that's the seed you wanted to use for, whatever you were gonna do. And so, that's what I've always done ever since I got Minecraft in, oh god, I got it, I think 2010 maybe? I got it when it was in beta 1.6.6? It was right before 1.7.3. So I know that because I barely got it when it was 1.6.6, because 1.7.3 came out immediately afterwards, a couple of days after I bought the game. So I really didn't get to experience 1.6.6, but I did get to experience, Minecraft more or less as we know it today. Let's see. What else? I started watching Minecraft way before then too. I started watching... Man, how long ago? I think it was early beta days that I started watching it. Very early. I think it was 1.5? Was there a 1.3? I feel like 1.3 was it, if there was a 1.3. Honestly, way long time ago. I don't even remember. Sorry, I'm gonna attempt not to mumble. I haven't really spoken today. I woke up at 2 p.m. I know, it's really late. No, that's a lie. I woke up around 1-ish, and I just laid in bed for an hour. Because I'm not a very good person to interact with in the morning. I'm not a morning person by any way, shape, or form. I very much dislike waking up, and my mood is very sour in the morning. So I try to counteract my absolute hate for the world for that first. It's between like an hour, 30, 40 to 40 minutes to an hour that I'm extremely irritable. So I try to like make sure nothing really annoys me, and I don't interact with people who like severely annoy me or do things that annoy me until after that 40-minute 1 hour period. And I don't know, I'm just not a morning person. I don't even know what it would be. I guess the chemicals in my brain just can't handle people in the morning. But anyways, I laid in bed to oh, sorry if you can hear that. That's my heater, my space heater. Let me turn that off. Um, turn off. There we go. And squeaky chair, and just everything falling now because I moved. Also, you'll notice, I just noticed it in the video, that I don't have the background music that I did last time for the Need for Speed music. That's just in case it is all 100% copyrighted and I can't use it while playing the footage. You'll notice I'm playing, or maybe you don't notice because you don't listen to him, but I'm playing Techno Axe's music, and he's the person I always use for my music. But I'll talk about that a little bit later on in this video. Also, this is going to be a little bit shorter, as you've probably noticed, because I only recorded 3 races and not 4. Whew. Anyways, blah blah blah, morning person. Oh yeah, so yeah, I woke up around 1 and I got out of bed at 2 because I was going to teach at 4. I was supposed to teach between 4 and 6, which is why I didn't get out of the house today. Otherwise, I would have, I would have had plans today. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But it's okay, it's Black Friday. I wasn't terribly interested in walking outside the door today. But they left to go do, the healthcare stuff, the healthcare.gov, the Obamacare stuff, essentially. And I guess it was a super long line. And it's because something like screwed up with our account, that we weren't able to do it last time around. So now they're trying to figure out what went wrong by going with the person. But I didn't go with them because I was supposed to teach, but then she canceled on me because stupid reasons. I don't know. I'm getting really aggravated about it. If she weren't my only source of income, I would, be done with it. But womp womp. Blah blah blah. But yeah, so they've been gone all day, and I forgot what my initial point was, me telling you that they were gone all day. But I've been alone. Oh, I've been alone in the house all day. Therefore, I haven't really spoken. I've tried to sing a little bit, just by listening to music. I mean, I've been listening to music, so I was singing along to music, naturally. And so that sort of warmed up my voice, but you have to enunciate a lot. Well, that's a lie. You don't have to enunciate in current pop music. But I was listening to more hip hop music, and hip hop and rap and stuff like that. Generally has a better just pronunciation and enunciation of words than regular pop, country, pretty much any other genre of music. They all have terrible enunciation. Anything that isn't like Broadway, musical, classical, opera, operatic, arias, and just any of that stuff, anything that predates probably anything that isn't choiry, I guess, would be a better way of putting it, has terrible enunciation. I don't know why. I don't know when vocal music shifted from us being able to understand what you were saying and not. Like, the fact of enunciation and diction is what it's called, is so, people listening to you can understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. And that's why you'll hear, like, whenever someone's in a theater or doing a theater production or a musical or a play of any sort, or even just a classical aria, even if it's in a different language, they will have impeccable enunciation of every single word they're saying. They might not know the words they're saying, which they do, they always do. They have to do that in the research. so they get convey the emotion of the song correctly or the story of the song correctly. Um, which I have a funny story about that, and if I remember it in about 12 in the 12 minutes left, I'll tell you it. Um, yeah, and I don't know when that happened. Like I was a fan of Ariana Grande when she was in Victorious. I was a fan of the show Victorious. The little bit I watched of it, I was more of a fan of the other characters. But Ariana Grande's character, who whatever her name was, I was a fan of because she, was the ditzy optimist of the group, and I'm a fan of those characters. I root for them for a better life. And but the one issue I had with her on the show is that I couldn't understand what she was saying a lot of the time because she spoke very airily, and without she didn't really emphasize any of the words she used, except in she emphasized the sounds she was making in the words she was saying, but not really so I could understand what she was saying. And there's one song that became very popular with her recently. I think it's Problem. No, maybe it was a Whisper. Something, I don't even know the name of the song because the song is so hard to understand because all you hear is essentially she's using her voice as a pure sound instrument, not something to convey a message with words, but rather with sounds. Because I couldn't understand the words she was saying, and it really annoyed me. And I didn't like Ariana. I didn't listen to any of her other music for a long time because I was just like, I can't understand the word you're saying, boo. And I'm not gonna listen to you if I don't know what you're saying. Because she was saying something, obviously, but who knows what it was. But yeah. And so I don't know when that actually happened in music. If like, I had to take a basically a speed course in music history, where in 1 year of school, 2 semesters, we had to go over basically four semesters of music history, which is very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. It was just very annoying. And so I had to go over things a lot. But the thing you have to do in music history, if you're ever interested in taking the course, or I'm thinking of using it as a history credit, don't. We had one person try and use it for a history credit. Worst decision of their lives. Because music history, especially in my class, wasn't just purely just sitting down with a book and learning all the facts. You have to learn that, and then you have to do the music thing, where you have to listen to all the music of those composers, so you can, relate the name of the composer to the music they wrote, and so you knew what kind of music they wrote and what it's supposed to sound like Renaissance music, classical music, Romantic era music. Uh, Before that, it was fucking Gregorian chant and stuff, all of that, and just so you see, and when they did troops and stuff during the Renaissance era and a little bit before that, during the medieval ages, you see the evolution of music that way, and it's really fascinating. I'm saying a lot. I'm so sorry. I apologize profusely. Oh, fuck. they, it's a filler. I just don't want there to be like no sound for me, no sound coming out of me while I'm trying to speak, especially with something so short. I can't remember my original point. Something music, era, music. Yeah, and so you're supposed to hear all of that music and you're supposed to relate it to the composer, and so you can relate it to the actual dates and the time period, and so you can relate different composers to each other without having to hear the songs, the pieces they wrote specifically. And also you'd have to hear the vocal music, the vocal choir music, and the instrumental music involved on their own and whatever instruments and stuff like that. Like you had to hear all these differences and learn all these things. And why did I want to talk about music history? What was the point? Man, that one goes way too far for me to remember. But I took that class. I guess I'll just talk about the class. I took that class and I really enjoyed it. I really hated it, but I really enjoyed it. I don't like any history classes. Sorry, Cole Mortimer, but I don't like history classes because I'm terrible at them. The few things that I'm really bad at in the world are long-term memory of dates, names, and places. Anything that is a noun, I'm probably terrible at. I don't know why, but I am. Like I have the only way I can remember it if something significant enough happened while I was looking at that name or that place or that date that I'm able to remember what it was. Otherwise, there is no way I would. There's no way. I'm really just terrible at it, and I'm even worse. It's even worse when you have to add more elements into it in music history because I could hear the songs. I've heard a lot of songs, and something I learned after becoming more educated in music and knowing songs. I mean, I already went in with a semi decent, library of instrumental and old and what is commonly known as classical music. Um, but not like enough as much as other people because again, it wasn't my like it wasn't the thing I wanted to major in originally. If it was, I would have done a lot of things differently in my education. Well, prior to that, I would have done a lot more preparing than I did. Like I have friends who were from school who knew from like freshman year that that's what they wanted to do, and I would have done more stuff like they did. But that's beside the point. I figured out that a lot of people don't know a lot of music that aren't in like the exclusively in the music world, and even people who are exclusive like in band in high school or choir in the high school, like even they don't know a lot of songs, and it blows my mind because I was thinking of saying because I love Techno X. Techno X, he does most of the music you hear in my videos. Well, not exclusively for me, but I use his songs. Um, yeah, that's the way to put it. I use his songs in my videos as the intros, and most of the time, and sometimes in time lapses if I do a time lapse, and I love his music. But the one thing you guys don't hear it, you might have heard it in the time lapse, or if you listen to him. But the one thing I don't like about Techno Axe's music is that he almost exclusively uses ABAB, which I can't remember what it's called, what the official like musical term for it is. I know Rondo is ABA, I believe, or maybe ABA prime, or maybe it could be either or. And what that means, essentially, those letters, it's capital A B A. Um, and it can also be lowercase, I guess, if you want to do that. But what it means is when there's a song, I tried to think of one, but I couldn't think of one that exemplifies this very, very well. That's a classical piece of music. Really fast. Think. I guess like Oh Danny Boy or Irish Tune from a County Derry. Probably if I could remember how Simple Gifts goes, I'd probably sing you that one. Maybe Oh Danny Boy does it, but it's like Oh Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the above blah. I don't know the words, ba da bum. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. So let's dissect that just phrase. That's a full phrase. It has a beginning and an end, and then something else happens in the song. It sounds very similar to the first part. That's why I don't know the words to "Oh Danny Boy." But so let's dissect that really quickly. So, "Oh Danny Boy, the pipes are calling." So let's call that. I'm not warmed up. I apologize. So let's take that. So let's call that A. A is just a representation of a thought. So that is one full thought. So keep that in mind that that's our A, that's our first thought. And so down he boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the other side. Those aren't the words. And is that where I want to do B? Oh, down he boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen. Da, 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 da. Yeah, let's do that B. So let's do that from glen to glen and down the other. That's probably counted as A more specifically, but it's a contemporary piece, so we'll ignore that. So we'll call that B. That's a second thought. And the way we determine that that's a second thought is because it's changed enough from the first one that we can consider that a second part. So that's one thought and two parts and a second thought put together. And so now, and then the next part goes, and then that would be A. And it's very similar, right? That part is very similar to our first thought. And like I said, that would be A. And now da 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 da. That would be I'd probably call that a B prime. It sounds enough like B for me to know that it's the idea of our second thought. But it's prime because it's just different enough that it's not exactly like B. So that's what it is. That's what ABAB is, and that goes for a more broader idea. So I could count that entire section, that thing I just sang, as A, and B would be something that it is in the same song but a completely different idea, different enough from our A that it would be considered a B. Man, time is about to end for me. So, and Techno X does that a lot. His music is A B A B A B A B, or sometimes it's A, and then sometimes it's like A B A. And I'm just like, why? Just change it up a little bit. But yeah, I love his music. So this was a little bit music centric. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I don't actually know how long. Oh, there we go. Just ended the race. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the music I'm using. I went for a little bit more of a hip hop beat. Something that's a little bit different because I know a lot of people don't appreciate that type of music. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, question for the day. What's your favorite subject? What is your? I know some of you guys' favorite subject, but what is your favorite subject in life? And by subject, I mean like history, music, literature, mathematics, arithmetic, physics, science, one of the various branches of science. Let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!